needed some inspiring. Peace and quiet, I'm running from the sirens. They ain't been around, but they know about where I've been. Had to put the time in to let them know what time it. Fuck a plug, you don't need it when you plugged in. They know it's us, we don't need no introductions. It's just us, we don't need no one for nothing. But it's always something. Skipping town, cause I really can't be around it. Sometimes the only way to go is right around it. Had some shit to say, I didn't like the way it sounded. So I left it where I found it. Yeah. Why stop now? Why stop now? No, not my style, not my style. Yeah, drop top down, that's my style. Why stop now, baby? Why stop now? PCH driving, I needed some inspiring. Peace and quiet, I'm running from the sirens. They ain't been around, but they know about where I've been. Had to put the time in to let them know what time it is. Not that ain't common, we all feel the pressure. Bitch, I'm plugged in, yeah, the vibe is electric. Room full of comments, they all trying to sex me. Feel like Dennis Rodman in 1997. I do tonight. Okay. Eat that pussy like it's food tonight. Yeah. They don't love me, but it's cool tonight. I like to keep it loose, but keep
Hey, pipe up, Hood Rich.
Doing something different, had to switch it up. Turned up in my section, every night we live it up. All my haters mad, but I don't give a fuck. All my haters mad, but I don't give a fuck. Doing something different, had to switch it up. Turned up in my section, every night we live it up. All my haters mad, but I don't give a fuck. All my haters mad, but I don't give a fuck.
It's Hill. Taysom Hill picks up the Saints first down, still going. Wow.
I don't care if you let how step. I don't care if you let how rip. I don't care if you let how step. I don't care if you let how rip. I got sauce, I got flavor. Getting all this paper. I got sauce, I got flavor. Getting all this paper. Plain Jane Paddock on my motherfucking wrist. They notice every time when I walk up in this bitch. Hustle, walk up in this bitch. Keep my clock up in this bitch. Hustle, walk up in this bitch. Keep my clock up in this bitch. My chopper hit. My chopper hit.
Martinez
my
steps up.
My funny hit. I don't care if you let how step. I don't care if you let how rip. I don't care if you let how step. I don't care if you let how rip. Doing something different, and I had to switch it up. Turned up in my section, every night we live it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see that I am back. And what the hell am I wearing? I'm wearing a Patrick Mahomes jersey, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Mafia podcast. First time on Twitch, by the way, and we're all on YouTube. I am your host, TJ Riddell, and tonight is a special night. It's a relaunch of the PMP. Looks good. JMO is back with me tonight, but he's going to focus primarily on producing and editing tonight. And we'll be doing bi-weekly shows until the NFL season starts. And then, guess what? We're going to have the draft special come back. We're going to have guests come on. We're going to have student athletes come on. My co-host, K-Dub, couldn't make it tonight, but I'm sure he's watching. I'm sure he's going to be supporting the PMP on the sidelines. But I'm telling you what, guys, I am excited about 2024. College football on the video game, the virtual world, is back. I am excited about that. I get to lead Texas State to a national championship. I may get to lead the University of Nevada back into the national championship contention. I may lead myself and the University of Texas Longhorns into a 30-year run where we have 30 national championships. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about a hell of a rant, probably a 5-minute rant. We're going to talk about college football, the recap. We're also going to talk about the NFL recap, and we're going to finish off with what do we expect out of 2024, out of football, out of the PNP, what we're going to be doing in 2024. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this wonderful show. I love each and every one of y'all that have supported. For those that don't support, I don't care for you. You just like my views, you just like my likes, and you share my shares. So keep hating, because I'm going to keep saying the real stuff. But anyways, let's go on to switch on to a topic that I have a 5-minute rant about. So I lost the bet, obviously. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in today's NFL today, right? I have to make this bet. I have to fulfill it, right? I have to wear this jersey for 8 games in this 2024 season. And I have to wear it during the draft special. I have to wear it tonight. I didn't want to, but I have to wear it tonight. So the reason why I have to wear it is because if he would go over 225 and win the game, I just have to wear the jersey. But if he went over 300, I'd have to do all that I just announced. However, that's not why I'm ranting. Why, NFL Shop, did you decide to make your jersey so expensive and not be authentic? Why did you give me a glorified scrimmage jersey? Let me explain something to you folks. This jersey right here, it's not that authentic. I don't know what the Chiefs jersey looks like if it's actually stitched or if it's actually painted. Is this an NFL flop? $160 for a glorified scrimmage jersey. I cannot stand prices like this. I hate painted jerseys. I like authentic jerseys, like that Stephon Diggs jersey behind me. That is a authentic jersey. It is stitched. Everything is stitched on there. Why am I wearing a painted jersey? This is just a t-shirt to me. It is not a good jersey. It is just a Mahomes fanboy jersey now. That's what it is. And I'm not a Mahomes fanboy by any means. I am totally against the argument that he is the GOAT or that he's the best quarterback in today's NFL. But he is this year. He is the best quarterback in today's NFL. But I personally think that a healthier Joe Burrow is better, but we'll get to that later on. I just think that NFL Shop needs to get their shit prioritized as far as pricing. I think that if you're going to sell an unauthentic jersey, it needs to be somewhere in the range of $75. That is more reasonable than $160. $160 for not even a sewn-in Super Bowl patch, but a steam patch. Do you know what a steam patch is? It is it's either steamed or it could be a pressed patch on there, where they use a press to have patches on a specific clothing. But that's all I have for the rant. I think I did good on that rant as far as keeping my words in line and not cursing as much. I only said one curse word. Congrats to me. I don't care. But now we're going to move on to the first topic of this evening. This evening, it is my favorite topic to talk about. It is the topic that I care about the most, and that is college football. I I tell you what, this was a very exciting 2023 season. You saw Nick Saban's last year. You saw Jimbo Fisher getting fired mid-season. You saw Michigan battling the NCAA and sticking it to them. Congrats to the Michigan Wolverines, by the way. I'll get to them here in a minute. But what I liked about this season was the fact that there was a lot of competition everywhere. Every game mattered. It felt like every game mattered as far as Power 5. Group of 5, there's a lot of teams that felt like it mattered, like James Madison and Liberty, because they had an opportunity to go into a New Year's Six Bowl. I especially loved this season because of the fact that my University of Texas Longhorns stuck it to the Big 12. My University of Texas Longhorns stuck it to the Big 12. Even though they did lose to Oklahoma, they went into Tuscaloosa and took care of business against Nick Saban in Alabama. They took care of Nick Saban in his last season. Okay? And this was one of the worst Alabama seasons I had ever seen. I'll be honest with you guys. But the Longhorns did well this season. I got to go watch them play against Texas Tech. Brett Yormark's Golden Boys. I really enjoyed the fact that I got to see Arch Manning play for the first time in his career, his collegiate first game that he ever played or stepped foot on the field. I will say, man, I am very excited about 2024, but 2023 was a very exciting and polarizing year. Polarizing. There was a lot of guys that didn't deserve a lot of awards, like Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't deserve the Bilikinoff. I think a lot of people deserved more than him. I think they only got him the Bilikinoff because he got his name from his daddy, but that's just me. I will say this also, the playoffs were very exciting. The semifinals were exciting. Washington, they took care of business. I'm not going to lie. They did well against my Longhorns. If Quinn would have just thrown it a little bit lower, I think we would have won the national championship, but that's just me being biased. Michigan and Alabama was probably the best game of the playoffs. Michigan took care of business against Alabama, stopped Jalen Milroe. A lot of criticism on Jalen Milroe, a lot of criticism on the offensive play calling, all that. But nobody took into consideration to give credit to Michigan. I was a doubter of Michigan up until they beat Alabama, and I was like, oh, shit. We're looking at a really good team. We're looking at a tough team. And not only that, they didn't have their head coach for freaking 3 to 4 games, guys. Shannon Moore, who's now the new head coach for Michigan, because Jim Harbaugh took the job over at Los Angeles. I mean, he did what he did for Michigan, and good on him. And he's back in the NFL. I think he'll do well with Los Angeles. But Shannon Moore, or whatever his name is, he helped lead the team. I didn't think it was his best coach games, in my opinion, but I think he did well for those teams, you know. And it was a damn good job for those teams, or for Michigan, to focus and play through the loud noise. And I loved Michigan this year. They just turned down the loud outside noise and just kept going and kept going. And if you really want to know what I say about Michigan, check out the Ryan High Sports podcast. Shout out to those guys for letting me on 3 times. 3 freaking times to talk about college football. And I loved this season. I really did. I think that what happened to Florida State was shitty, but let's be real, they weren't going to be able to beat any of those 4 teams anyway. So, to Florida State fans, you got to come into realization that you would not beat Georgia on your best day. You would not beat Texas on your best day. You would not beat Washington on your best day. You wouldn't even scratch the surface against Michigan. But here y'all are saying, oh, we could have beaten Texas or Michigan or Alabama or Georgia with our players. Well, guess what? Here's what I don't like about college football. I want to say 30 of your players hit the transfer portal. 30 of your players before that bowl game. You know why? Because they weren't in the college football playoff. So why does it matter now? Texas, we had a couple of guys hit the transfer portal before the playoffs. There's a couple guys in the transfer portal before bowl games. Here's what I have a problem with college football. I don't have a problem with the NIL. It may need to be restructured a little better, but that's okay. That's a simple fix. What I have a problem is the transfer portal is ruining the game of football. I don't care if you do it after the season, before and after the spring game, but why in the hell are you doing it before bowl games and playoffs? It just does not make sense to me. It does not. I just question everything that the NCAA does. I think the NCAA has got to go, and the colleges really need to consider joining a union. I think the Big Ten and the SEC are actually trying to start doing that. If I'm the ACC and the Big 12, because there's no more Pac-12, by the way, it's actually the Pac-2 with Oregon State and Washington State. So if I'm those 2 conferences, I try to align myself with the SEC and the Big Ten. I mean, yeah, they're competitors as far as conferences, but y'all all have the same goal, and that's to get away from the NCAA. Leave the NCAA to the smaller schools like Boise State that don't want to jump to the Big 12 or the Pac-2 or whatever you want to call it. I think that realignment, college football realignment too, really messed things up. I didn't mind the Texas and Oklahoma realignment because it was time for Texas to get acquainted with some of those SEC programs. It was time for Oklahoma to move on to the SEC. Those 2 schools fit that narrative. Why are West Coast schools like USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington playing Ohio State, Purdue, Indiana, Penn State, Michigan? It just doesn't add up to me. And then you have the ACC who decided to grab up California and Stanford. The ACC is an Atlantic Coastal Conference. Why in the hell do you have 2 Pacific teams and then you have SMU? Why do you have a Texas team in the ACC? It just doesn't make sense to me. College football realignment has really screwed things up. I think the conferences are to blame, and I think the conference that really won this is the Big 12. If you're really looking at conference realignment, I think the Big 12 actually won it. You know why? Because they went with the most geographically made sense programs. Okay, so Texas and Oklahoma are going to the SEC. That's fine. We'll get Arizona State. They were in talks with the Big 12 too for a while. Don't start with me with the old. No, they didn't. Yes, they did. They've been talking back and forth, just like the Pac-12 was trying to poach Texas, Oklahoma State, and Tech. Come on, be real, folks. And TCU. Colorado's returning to the Big 12. So Primetime is going to get a good feel of what the Big 12 is actually about. And BYU's nemesis, Utah, is going to be in the Big 12. I love what the Big 12 did here. And this is where Brett Yormark is a genius. I only gave him a bunch of crap because of the fact that he dissed on Texas. Now, do I think he's stupid? No. I think he is a smart businessman. And he did a damn good job, especially for basketball. If you see college basketball right now in the Big 12, oh my God, it is unbelievable. Like, there is no bad team in college basketball as far as the Big 12, in my opinion. But we're not a basketball show. We're a football show. Arizona's on the rise. I think Colorado will bounce back after a 4-8 season, but everybody's giving Dion criticism for what he did this season. I actually applaud him winning three more games than what they did or what they had last season. And plus, it's the first season. Why are you gonna bitch about it? You know, but what I have a problem is he allows his sons to run through runways in Paris while they have a freaking team meeting. And I don't like that. And then they have film crews filming their team doing drills with Marines. I mean, it's fine, but I think it's a publicity stunt in all realistic terms, because his son runs the media for Colorado, okay? As far as that YouTube channel, well, it's a well-produced YouTube channel. I'm not going to lie to you. It's well-produced, but I just don't agree with the whole lot that's going on with Colorado right now. You need more muscle in the trenches, and I think Matt McChesney, he's a great source once it comes to the trenches. Check him out at 6-0 Academy, and also 0 to 60 podcast on Believe. You can check him out there. He also has a YouTube channel, folks. But he explains how Colorado is getting a lot of these transfers and a lot of these recruits. I don't really see a whole lot of bulk behind the offensive line, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that one. Matt could possibly come in here and call me a effing idiot if he wanted to. But that's just my take on the whole Dion. And I love Dion. Don't get me wrong on that. I love Dion. It's just the fact that I'm starting to see the cracks behind Colorado right now. But back to what I don't like about college football is the college football realignment doesn't make sense for most of the conferences. I think that the Group of Fives are hurting right now, especially the Mountain West. There's probably going to be a converge conference within the next few years with the Mountain West Conference and the Pac-2, because there's a lot of Mountain West teams that could fit in that Pac-2 mold now, like Boise State. I have fantasized Boise State being in the Pac-12 for so long, dude. It is not even real. And it's unbelievable how much I wanted to see Boise State in the Pac-12. I thought they fit better than anybody else. I thought they fit better than Colorado in that conference. But Stanford and Cal to the ACC makes 0 sense. So you would pick academically brilliant Stanford and Cal at Berkeley to go to the ACC rather than trying to bump up USF without bumping up East Carolina. You know, like, something's got to give for some of these group of fives, man. Like, you either got to try to promote them or you just bury them, you know, because at some point some of these schools are going to want a group of five national championship, and it's not going to do well for college football. Now, this isn't really a necessarily I don't like, but I am going to be cautious about the 12-team playoff. I like it, but I am going to be cautious about it because Coach JB, by the way, it's his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Jason Brown from the Pigskin Mafia podcast. He brings up really good points. Injuries, people hitting the transfer portal. And there's been a lot of injuries this season, especially on the NFL side, which I'll get to that here in a little while. And players opting out of bowls, which I hate that shit. I think I've stated that on here before, that I hate when people opt out of bowl games because it does nobody justice. So quit opting out of bowl games. I really like the fact that we have the. I don't like the format though. The 5 conference champions and 7 highest ranked teams after that. So you would have a Big 12 champ, or actually SEC, Big 10, Big 12, and ACC right there. And then the 5th conference champion would sit right here. And he brings up Notre Dame in this situation. They could be the number 1 team in the country, whooping everybody's ass, you know, putting 60 burgers on Michigan or whatever. I'm just throwing out an example. But they get the 5th or 6th best spot in the seeding. Make it make sense, CFP. Make it make sense. And also injuries, transfer portal, bowl opt-outs to go into the league. I never was a fan of the bowl opt-outs. I never was a fan of the transfer portal before the bowl games, and I never will. So that's all I have for college football for now. I am extremely happy and excited for the 2024 season for college football. But now we're going to move into the NFL, the non-fun league. Okay. I don't have a lot of great things to say about the NFL this season because you know why? I only watched probably 15 games the entire season. 15 games. Okay? This was one of the worst football seasons I had ever seen in the NFL. You know why? Because you restrict the defenses. You favor the offenses more. Why do I see Josh Allen run for 51 yards untouched for a touchdown in a playoff game? Why do I see Patrick Mahomes run for a 23-yard scramble in overtime and slide in, you know, this league has gotten soft as baby shit, bro. Like, I am about sick and tired of seeing this soft ass shit that on air. Like, I really am. It's sad to me. Like, we're playing freaking 2-touch in tackle football. That's what we're doing. But here's one good thing I'll say. You know what? I don't have a whole lot of good things. I really don't know what the good thing was about the NFL. I guess good playoff games. Because now I'm again to the what I don't like about the NFL. First of all, how is Dan Campbell or D'Amico Ryans not the coach of the year? And me and Caleb both agreed on this. Why is Kevin Stefanski the coach of the year? Why is he the coach of the year? What did he do so special about Cleveland? Bringing back Joe Flacco? I mean, he had one good freaking game, and after that, he was back to being old Joe Flacco. Yeah, he was slinging for a while, but he wasn't that great. And why are so many starting quarterbacks out for the season this year? Why are star players getting injured this season? This was the highest injury rating I had ever seen. Get back to grass. And I don't know. It has blown my mind how soft this league is, how brittle players are nowadays, and how mediocrity is the new excellence. Mediocrity is the new excellence here in the NFL. Okay? And then we get to the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan. I am holding you responsible for this Super Bowl. The reason why is because you're the biggest choke artist since Pamela Anderson. You choke more than she does. Okay? You go into a Super Bowl 3 times, one time as an offensive coordinator, twice as a San Francisco's head coach, and you freaking choke. You choke so hard. Man, like, you were up 28-3 at the halftime, lost to the Patriots. You were up by 10 against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, lost to them, and then you went up 10-0 against Patrick Mahomes, and guess what? You lost to them. So that tells me, I love Kyle Shanahan, former Longhorn. That just tells me that you are not a good head coach. You are a better offensive coordinator. You do not deserve to be a head coach. I'm sorry. I love Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a brilliant offensive mind. But the problem is that you are not a good head coach. You are just a horrible head coach, man. You don't know how to manage a team. You know how to manage an offense, but you don't know how to manage the defense. I'm sorry. And firing Coach Wilks was the wrong decision. That was the wrong decision. I stand by that. I don't agree with firing Steve Wilks. I think it was a bad fire. And it was for one season. He coached for one season and took y'all to the damn Super Bowl. Ranked number 1 in the damn NFL. Number 1 ranked team in the NFL, guys. As far as defense. And you fire that guy. Well, I hope Steve Wilks coaches the Seahawks or the Rams at some point, because you reap what you sow, Kyle Shanahan. You reap what you sow. And then I'm going to get to the Kansas City Chiefs side. Okay? And Travis Kelce. I get that you're under pressure because you had Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a marketing tool. Okay? I don't have anything against Taylor Swift. I hate her fans. I really do. I wish we could just drop them off in Antarctica, like Jeff Nadu said, and let them battle it out for the fight to the death. There you go. There you go. Just give them a gun or a knife and let them fight it out. Or you know what? Just give them a knife and let them fight it out. Okay? Because they're diaper wearing women or men. I don't know. I just think they're weird. I think they're weird. I think they attack people when they say something that they don't like about Taylor Swift. Is weird, but back to Travis Kelce. I understand you're under pressure, but let me tell you something. This was one of the worst seasons that you ever had in the regular season. You looked fat. I'll be honest. You looked fat. I think, and I boiled it down to this. I think you have a feedy and feeder relationship here, guys. And what that means is Taylor Swift loves her chunky monkeys. She loves to feed Travis Kelce chocolate cake and protein shakes every day. Okay? And use a funnel to feed Travis Kelce with. Okay? Do what you want to do on your off time. I don't care. I'm just saying that he looked fatter. He looked slower. He can't run deep routes as well as he did anymore. The point is, he's getting older, and the shitbird in him is starting to come out. The old Cincinnati Travis Kelce is starting to come out. Okay? And it didn't dawn on me until they played in Baltimore, right? And Justin Tucker, arguably the best kicker in the NFL history. He has the record for the longest field goal kick. He's probably one of the most accurate field goal kickers in NFL history. Probably is the most accurate. And Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes decide to throw his helmet around, kick his little place kicker deal, and throw his footballs around. You know why? Because he was in their way. First of all, it's his freaking field, so he can go wherever he wants to go. So quit bitching about it and go somewhere else if you don't like him being there. Don't be on his side of the field. Go on your side of the field. That's why colleges and high schools do what they do, and they separate the teams from this side of the field and that side of the field. I know this because I have seen it with my own eyes in college. Well, I didn't go to college. I went to college football games. I know how they warm up. I played high school football. I was a second team all district in defense as a cornerback. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. But then we get to the Super Bowl, or actually before that, then Travis Kelce starts being like a bitch-made cat, you know, and starts talking shit to the Ravens. And as soon as they punch, or not punching, but they start hand jabbing them in the face. I think the Ravens are the most NFL team in the NFL today as far as like toughness. But how do we say that when the whole league's a bunch of bitch-made cats? Okay? Then Travis Kelce acts like, oh, they're hurt. They're talking shit, ref. You need to get them. Like, I saw the whole fucking game. Sorry, I'm cursing now, but I'm hot. I saw the whole game. I saw the way he acted, and I said, that's bitch-made behavior. And then we get to the Super Bowl. Okay? He's only gotten one reception for like 2 yards in the first half. He wasn't in on a specific play. And I think the 49ers stopped him on a 4th down and 1 because analytics is football nowadays. And the 49ers stopped him. They get the ball back, and Travis Kelce does the most disgusting thing I had ever seen a human being do to a head coach. Not only does he yell at him, but he runs up and pushes on him and grabs a hold of him. First of all, how old is Andy Reid? He's like 65 years old, is he not? And he has a replaced hip. Okay? He has a hip replacement. And not only that, he's fucking old. Why are you going up to your coach like that and pushing on him like that. You know why? Because players are too comfortable in doing shit like that. When a player and a coach has that type of relationship, and I'm sorry, I've never seen it personally, but I've seen deep arguments with players and coaches. Look at Malik Henry and Jason Brown on Last Chance U. They're tight, and they always have arguments. And JB will tell you straight up that after that last bickering at each other on the Last Chance U, where JB called him a bitch, and Malik Henry was like, "You're a bitch too." What happened afterwards? They sat in the office and they laughed about it. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that's what Jason and Andy Reid did. But take that shit to the locker room, dog. There's no need for that on the field. If you have an issue, take it to the locker room. Don't do it where there's cameras on you. And I'm glad that Jason Kelce went on the podcast that they have, Gridiron Heights, and told him, you know what you did was wrong. And Travis did own up to his mistake. I'll give him that. But he lost my respect. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but he lost my respect on that level. I don't necessarily agree with yelling at your coach on the sideline until halftime when you're in the locker room, and you don't have to yell at him. You could just say, "Coach, why can't you put me in on 4th down and 1 and throw a seam route or throw a zigzag route where I can get the first down or I could get the touchdown?" Okay? And plus, why didn't we punt on that play anyway? So that it's okay to question your coach at times. It's not okay to yell and let alone push the motherfucker, because he may be 60 years old, pushing on to 70 with a hip replacement, possibly other freaking rods and injury or medical situations in his body. You don't know that. Y'all may be close like this, but never in my life would I ever touch my coach like that. That's just me. I don't know how anybody else would feel. I would never push my coach like that, ever. Now, if I was a coach and someone did that to me, all right, you ain't playing no more. Take your shit off. Go into the locker. You're done. You're done. You're not going to do that shit. We got cameras on me. You're not going to do that shit. And I'm pretty sure Andy Reid, who I think is the best play caller in NFL history, told Travis Kelce, he did tell him, but I think he gave him a scathing after that in the locker room, said, "You can't be doing that. You know I have cameras on. You better keep your composure up or I'm not going to play you." That's probably what he told him, knowing Andy Reid. And Andy Reid doesn't get enough credit for Patrick Mahomes' success. Everybody wants to anoint Patrick Mahomes as a GOAT, but why isn't Andy Reid in the GOAT conversation once it comes to coaches? As far as mainstream media is concerned, I know Coach JB has said it. I know that several others have said it. Why isn't Andy Reid in that conversation as far as the GOAT? Patrick Mahomes, he's nowhere near that GOAT status in my eyes, but he's the best quarterback in today's NFL, so I have to give him his props. It's just sad. It really is sad to see, and the way that game ended was just horrific. I didn't like. I thought that Super Bowl was cheesy. A lot of mistakes. There was really no play that really made me go, "Oh!" or none of that. Maybe the Jawan Jennings pass to Christian McCaffrey. was pretty neat. It's a little gadget play, but that's it. I really don't have a lot of good things to say about the NFL. And I'm going to get to this. This is my last thing that I'm going to talk about the NFL. Micah Parsons and NFL players that do podcasts that shouldn't be doing podcasts. Mainly, I'm attacking Micah Parsons on this. And I'm saying attack, but I'm really just critiquing. Why are you on a podcast with Stephen A. Smith? First of all, that is a cardinal sin to have if you're a Cowboy. And then you try to make a fool out of yourself by saying, what AFC? First of all, why are you mentioning AFC quarterbacks when you need to mention what quarterbacks in the NFL besides Patrick Mahomes is better than Dak Prescott? That's what he asked Stephen A. Smith. First of all, what has Dak Prescott accomplished? Or I'm sorry, he's back to being Dakota. He's back to being Dakota because that was one of the worst performances I had ever seen in a playoff game. And then you want to blame CeeDee Lamb for your interceptions? I get it. CeeDee Lamb had drops. But you want to finger point? You should have. You, as a quarterback, should be held accountable. You should be accountable for your own actions in that game. And then you want to get a sob story after the game. Freak out of here with that. But Micah Parsons, all season long, has bothered me. At first, I didn't mind him having a podcast. It's a freedom of speech, right? It's a way for players to express themselves. Max Crosby has this. But my problem with Micah Parsons is he bashes other teams. He bashes fan bases. He bashes his own teammates. He bashes coaching. He bashes mainstream media. It sounds like an idiot. I'm sorry. He sounds like an idiot when he talks. And I got people on my side telling me that are really close to me that I sound like an idiot when I come on here. But yet, I got other people telling me I know my, you know what. But Micah Parsons gets on Bleacher Report and he has his own podcast and starts talking about what AFC quarterback is better than Dak Prescott besides Patrick Mahomes. First of all, Joe Burrow is better than Dakota Prescott. Justin Herbert is better than Dakota Prescott. Josh Allen is better. I could name a couple more. I honestly think that Lamar is tied up with Dakota Prescott. The only reason why is because Lamar is more of a runner than a passer. But instead of saying NFL, he should instead of saying AFC, he should have said NFL, but he never did. And Micah underperformed this season, especially against the Green Bay Packers. I just don't understand it. How we have prima donnas in the Dallas Cowboys organization. It got to the point where Jimmy Johnson, at the half of that game, Cowboys were down big in the wild card. And Jimmy Johnson looked like Jimmy Johnson from back when they were winning Super Bowls. That's the type of coaching we need. That's the type of leadership we need. So Jimmy Johnson is now back with the Cowboys organization as an advisor. I don't know how much play he could pull, but it's big for Dallas. And the first thing that he has to do is tell Micah, get the hell off of podcasting when you're playing. I don't mind him talking in the off season, but he still sounds like an idiot. When we're not practicing or playing, there should be no more, or when we're practicing or playing, you should not be doing podcasts. But here's my problem, and this is a all-around thing. College football, NFL, you're starting to see it in high school now, which is, it's shitty. I'll keep it real with you. Player empowerment. If a player doesn't like a certain bag, he ain't playing that game. That's why you saw A.J. Brown not play for the Philadelphia Eagles in the wild card. Why do you see Jalen Hurts flying by himself, going to a game? Why do you see guys walking in through a runway during the Super Bowl looking like shards of glass that all over him? You know, it's stupid shit like that pisses me off about the NFL. The NFL has turned into Hollywood and glamour rather than being the NFL. The NFL has turned into prima donna. Look at me. I'm doing this. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Nickelodeon. I'm on the Oprah Winfrey Show. I'm on The View. I'm on whatever stupid ass show I'm on, and I'm on it, and I'm going to make an ass out of myself, and I'm going to make an ass out of my teammates. And you know, Greg Townsend was on the Coach JB show. He brought up a good point. You know, back in the day when the Raiders had Howie Long, Greg Townsend, who should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. He's the Raiders sack leader, if y'all didn't know. He said that back in those days, there was no free agency. You stuck with your team till the very end. What happened to that? There's no more loyalty. There's no more. It's all individuality. Player empowerment is individuality, and I can't take another moment to even think about that anymore. I really can't, because I can't really care about the NFL if they're going in that direction. College football is different because you still have your traditions, you still have your rivalries. Even though that some rivalries are broken apart, you still renew old ones. You're creating new ones. With the NFL, it's lackluster. And me and Caleb talk about this. Me and JMO talked about this. All three of us have talked about this. The NFL is freaking stale, man. It is stale. It's like a 3-week-old stale French fry that's been left in the car during the summer. And y'all know how bad that looks. Football has gotten mediocre. Mediocrity is the new excellence. That's what it is in today's day and age. Now, to the final topic of the night. And I probably went over the hour, but I'm rolling right now. But the final topic of the night, we're going to talk about what do we expect out of 2024 from the NFL, college football, the PNP, etc., etc. In general, football. What is happening, or what happens now in 2024? Well, first of all, we're going to talk about college football right here. I'm excited about college football. It's going to be exciting to bring back old rivalries such as the Lone Star Showdown between Texas and Texas A&M, Arkansas versus Texas. We got a glimpse of that, which I wasn't really happy about that game. Caleb was there, and his brother Nate was there. I was redder than this damn jersey. Or I'm sorry, this scrimmage jersey. You get to see new rivalries. Ohio State, Oregon. I would love to see that as a rivalry. USC, Ohio State. USC, Michigan. UCLA, Purdue. All these different styles. It's going to be different. What I would like to see different is a change of the transfer portal. I don't know how the 12-team playoff's going to be. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what happens during the spring games. I will be tuning into those spring games, and I'm going to give a rundown of who I feel is going to be coming out great after the next cycle of the transfer portal before OTA start for NFL and college. And we'll have a sit down with a student athlete that's from my area, that's actually that was actually recruited by Washington and Boston College and Army, West Point, and Air Force, but he committed to North Texas. And I think his brother's on the same page right now. His brother may be committing to North Texas as well. I got to talk to that kid too on the other show that I'm on, which is the Gridiron 64 Sports Network. Shout out to them guys. But we're going to get an insight on what's different between high school football players and a life of a college football player for him as far as the spring game goes. What is different between a spring game and scrimmages? What is the difference between the practices up in North Texas and the practices here in whatever Texas, and I say that because I'm gonna keep that a mystery until April. After April 22nd, we'll have that kid on. He's a really good kid. I love the kid. I love talking to him. I love talking to his dad. His dad's very passionate. Shout out to James, by the way. Great guy, and great parent too. He raised two fine kids. One of them said he wanted to be a doctor too, and that took me by surprise. So I'm getting a little off track there, but I'm excited also for the college football 25 game that's going to be coming out this summer. So that way I could start bringing teams from the bottom tier to the upper tier, or I just control myself as a coach and I lead Texas to a national championship every year and beat everybody's ass like I normally do on that show or on college football. Now NFL, what I'm looking forward to is the NFL draft, which we will have the draft special on that day, which the draft special is going to be April 25th to the 27th. We're only going to do the first round. That's all we ever do. I hate going through the entire draft. I know that the first round doesn't always have the best players, but it's the most watched. It is the most watched round in NFL. And yes, it will be in high definition, not like last year where it was pixelated shit. And I wish we were presented by Bud Light, but we're not. But anyway, we're not. Actually, I don't want Bud Light. I don't even drink that shit. So next time, J-Mo, we're going to put Shiner Bock on there because that's what I drink, and Topo Chico. I'm just kidding. But anywho, it'll be exciting again. We'll have K-Dub, we'll have J-Mo. We might have a couple guests on to give their thoughts on the NFL draft. I want to try to bring some of the guys of the Riding High Sports podcast on as well, like Cantu. Me and him went at it last time on a disagreement as far as like high school football, but we tend to agree on some things and we kind of tend to disagree on a lot of things, especially once it comes to Texas and Texas A&M. He sends me stuff about different sports, but I talk about football. I care about football. So there's that. But shout out to you, Cantu. Love you, brother. We'll probably have him on. And also, a week beforehand, Cantu announced on his show with me on there. I was blindsided by this, but I love it. I love the idea. I told JMO about this. Was it last night I told you about this, JMO?
Out. Hold up.
Yeah.
I think you did. I was out though, man. Like
Yeah. This guy only had an hour of sleep last night, and I was the dickhead that called him. I was the dickhead calling him. You know, the dickhead.
Nah, it's all good, bro. No worries.
But no, he's the best producer and editor for a reason. But Cantu had the brilliant idea of our out of shape having asses to do a NFL combine of our own a week prior. And I'm talking about we're probably going to be drunk doing this. We're probably going to be stumbling and throwing up doing this. It's going to be like a little short film, and it's going to be fun. If I can get Cantu on before the draft, I'm going to have him on at some point. I don't know when yet, but we're going to talk more about this here on the PMP. It's going to be exciting for that. I'm excited for the draft because a lot of people are saying that there's going to be a lot of movement, and Caleb Williams going to Washington or Chicago. We're going to see. And then I'm not excited for the NFL season because I know it's going to be mediocre again, but I am looking forward to Bijan Robinson breaking out into being one of the best backs in the NFL. I think he deserves a lot more credit, but one rookie that I will always give credit to is CJ Stroud. This season was the best rookie quarterback season I had ever seen him play. I hope he has an excellent sophomore season. I'm looking forward to watching him play. I look forward to watching the Texans play. And also, Arthur Smith to the Steelers, too, as an offensive coordinator. JMO, I kind of want your thoughts on this because I know you don't like this bastard. I hate this bastard. But what's your thoughts on Arthur Smith?
Arthur Smith, the Steelers. I really don't have any idea who. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know about the. Oh,
FedEx boy.
Oh, hell nah, man. Dude. Okay, I'm gonna just say this, and apologies because I don't have the camera set up for me today. I don't want to have the camera set up for me today. That's what I mean. I do have the camera set up, but
hey, he's got a luscious beard. That's
hey, thanks.
Hey,
if you guys want to see me, check me out tomorrow on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, he makes Jason Kelsey's wife want him. I'm just kidding. She's a sweet. I love her.
Okay, in my opinion, man, Arthur Smith is one of the most losing coaches to ever grace the game. You don't take. I mean, good God, dude! Like, look at his fucking record. Like in Atlanta, he 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, consistent fucking losing basis, man. Like you cannot make this shit up. A .412 is not a fucking win-loss rate that you want as a head coach. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. He went through 3 quarterbacks. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong here, but he went through either 2 or 3 quarterbacks. I know Mariota, and then I know this...
Desmond Ridder.
Yep.
Matt Ryan.
Ridder. And then Wait, did he go through Matt Ryan? Was he there for Matt Ryan? I don't think he was.
I think it was Matt Ryan's last year, and then he
2021.
traded him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he went with
So this
Mariota.
man has been through 3 quarterbacks, and Mariota was a talent. He's shown that he can be a talent. He's shown that he can fumble the bag, but he's also shown that if you work with him and you give him a team,
Also known as a Jag, just another guy.
yeah, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Mariota a lot, and I liked how he played in Oklahoma.
I do
I
too.
think he's too old to play the game now. Yeah, I do. I think he should go ahead and retire. But at the same
Or play in
time,
the UFL. What's wrong with the UFL? Destroying's on there. Did you know
hey,
that?
man, if he wants to play in the UFL, that's fine. But all I'm saying is he's way too old for the NFL. That's all I'm saying. But
Yeah.
let me tell you this, man.
I agree.
If you have an experienced quarterback like Mariota, you do not quit on him in 1 year because he does some dumbass shit. I mean, good God, look at Matt Sanchez. He was around the Jets for like 5 or 6 years more than he had to be.
Yeah,
Think
Mark
about it.
Sanchez was. Oh God, I don't want to get into
He was
that.
a terrible quarterback. And
And
the
I'm
Jets still
sorry.
kept him around.
I'm sorry, but if Rex Ryan didn't have Mark Sanchez and he had a different quarterback at that time, I think that Rex Ryan would have been a fierce competitor for a Super Bowl, man. Like I really would, because I
agree
think
to an
Rex
extent.
Ryan is. I think Rex Ryan is a excellent coach, man. I really do think so.
I agree.
And for
to an
Dallas,
extent.
and I'm sorry, for Dallas to pass up on Rex Ryan to go to Mike Zimmer, really? As the defense coordinator, because Dan Quinn is now the head coach for the Washington Redskin Commander football team, trans team. Okay, that's what they are. I want.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Like right now, if the Steelers last 1 year with Arthur Smith, more than 1 year,
Yeah.
that's atrocious to me because Art Smith, in my opinion, should not be in the coaching game. He should leave. He's not.
He
good
should.
At
He
this.
should be.
He's
He
not
should be
good
with
at
this.
this whatsoever. He's not good at this at all.
Yeah.
If head coach for 3 years, and you and you fumble the bag that hard, I mean, okay,
He fumbled the
cool.
bag with Bijan, bro. Like
Okay,
he
cool.
was your best chance into getting into a playoff game. He was your best chance. And what do? You lie about his condition. You really just sat him out because you really don't like how respectful the kid is. That's why I think Raheem Morris is a good hire for Atlanta. I think he's a culture guy. I'm big into culture, man. Like, listen here. Like, I think Arthur Smith was bad for the culture there for Atlanta.
Let me-
I think he really lost the team, and I know Jameis did what he did, but I don't blame Jameis. I don't blame Jameis Winston for doing what he did.
Yeah.
But Arthur Smith shouldn't have gotten mad for the Saints to going for it on that play where they scored it.
Let me tell you this, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
2019 and 2020, dude. Like his seasons were pretty good as an offensive coordinator, but let me tell you something else. Derrick Henry. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
All I have to
that's
fucking
all
say.
you have to do. Give Derrick Henry the freaking ball.
I mean,
And-
if you think about it, like he had a weapon at his disposal as an offensive coordinator. He had one of the best running backs in the fucking league. You
Yep.
don't do that and have a losing record. And he almost got a losing record. That's no. That I think Arthur Smith is one of the worst coaches to ever grace this game. I think he doesn't have a place in any capacity for coaching. Even though he's been coaching since 06. Whatever.
Yeah.
Or rather, sorry, 07 rather. I really don't think he has a place because he just.
I think he's a
quits too
jackass.
early. He quits too early. Quits too early on players. He
Yep.
doesn't appreciate what his players do. Bottom line, I honestly think he's a dumbass. I really do. Like as far as a head
Yeah,
coach,
and also
he's a dumbass.
that's my next thing, or that's what I should have brought up too during my rant and tangent on the NFL this past season. Staley gave up on his team because he lost the locker room too for the Chargers. That's why you saw the Raiders whoop the shit out of them 63 to whatever. You know, like you don't see that in the NFL. You're not supposed to see NFL coaches lose the locker room like that. If you lose the locker room, you lose your fan base. It's simple as that. You're a wardenless warden in a asylum that is ran by the prison or prisoners. You're supposed to be the warden that goes in there, keeps everybody in check, you know, and I think Arthur Smith is on the same level as Staley, man. Like, I thought Staley was a big goober, you know, and only cared about analytical football. A lot of these analytical guys that really look fucking stupid, they are fucking stupid. They really are. Arthur Smith, he looked like a fucking walrus out there and didn't know what the hell he was doing. He didn't know what the hell he was doing.
The only reason the only reason that Arthur Smith ever found success 2019, 2020 when he was in Tennessee, give you 2 words again. And it's not Derrick Henry, Mike Vrabel. That's it.
Yes.
Good-ass coach.
And that's another thing I have a problem with. Why are you firing Mike Vrabel, and why doesn't he have a defensive coordinator job?
Yeah.
That guy,
Real.
oh my God, that pisses me off. How come the Cowboys didn't try to get Mike Vrabel? He's still relatively young.
Yeah.
But we get this old-ass Mike Zimmer, who, I'm sorry, his best days are done. He's that type of guy that'll get in your ass, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's that good of a coach. I don't think he's that good of a coordinator. The only reason why he had success is because he had Adrian Peterson and Pat Williams and Kevin Williams and all these other guys. And I'm sorry, he's just not that good of a coach. I'm sorry, I've been through that. I've had a baseball coach as a head coach full of a roster of 4 and 5 stars. I mean, they weren't listed as 4 and 5 stars, but they were 4 and 5 stars in my book. And they could agree with me on that because I still talk to them to this day because we're alumni and we talk about the school, you know. But my point is this, like, you had Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier right there. You could get rid of Cordell Patterson. He's seen his best days. I'm sorry. I love Cordell Patterson. I think he's a team player, but 3 running backs is just too much. And I really think he did fumble the bag with Bijan. Just utilizing him to more of the passing game than the run game. Bijan Robinson has one of the best running styles I had ever seen. And that's not me as a Texas fan. That is me as a football fan. A guy that has seen people run the ball. A former fullback that knows how to run the damn hole, knows how to run through people, knows how to juke, spin, and all that good stuff. I had never seen people figure skate the way Bijan Robinson has on the field. That's what it is. Playing running back is like figure skating.
I will say this since I'm on mic now too. Like,
yeah,
Christian McCaffrey.
He deserved the MVP.
I 100% believe
he deserved the MVP, not Lamar. I'm sorry. I love
Christian
Lamar.
McCaffrey is the best running back by far.
I agree with that.
He attacks with every play.
He runs with a purpose.
Yeah.
Runs with a purpose.
Just like I also believe, just like I also believe, Purdy is severely still underrated, and I believe
I agree
he lives
with
up
that
to the
too.
name Mr. Relevant. I believe he is a much better quarterback. I mean, so when you get up to the Super Bowl stage, the only reason that you don't do well is lack of experience. Purdy has
Lack of experience and also terrible play calling. There is, like, you like Kyle Shanahan in the second half set him up for failure.
Yeah.
I wish we could show film on here for the game. I wish we could have that ability, but we're not big enough yet. For Kyle Shanahan to call pass, punt, pass, punt, pass, run, whatever, you're setting him up for failure. If you want Brock Purdy to win, you need to run a balanced offense. You have to. It has to be a run balanced offense. Get Eli Mitchell involved. Get Christian McCaffrey involved. Christian McCaffrey was cooking in the last portion of that game in overtime. And why did you run it where Trent Williams was? You run it to the weak side instead of the strong side where Trent Williams is there. Arguably the best tackle in football in today's day and age. Not Juwan Mitchell. I'm sorry, KC fans. That's the God honest truth. Now, I don't know, man. I just there's just a lot of bad coaching and player empowerment and all this other shit that we're dealing with in the NFL. But Jama, are you excited about 2024? Since you're
yes, and as far as as far as college, I'm not super big into the college football game because I'm gonna be honest, but
hey, you got a good coach over there now.
But yeah, true. I'm
Jeff Choate, hey,
what he brings.
If you ever get a chance to talk to him, be like, hey, I run this podcast.
I'll talk
yeah.
about the game.
Yeah. We'd love to have him
both
on.
Football teams, if you think about it, suck. Like University of Kentucky. No, sir.
And you play us this year. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah,
we should go to that game.
That is going to be fun. That is absolutely going to be a thriller. But
yeah.
As far as college, not really, because unless Kentucky has like a phenomenal team, just an outlier team, not going to happen.
And not a quarterback that loves mayonnaise and coffee.
And then as far as the NFL, to me, I kind of hate it because my favorite team is the Steelers. Hate on me if you want.
Of course.
But we don't have anybody. We don't have any star players. It's like TJ Watt.
But you have arguably.
I'm gonna make a statement here. Like TJ Watt is good, but he gets all the fame from his money.
I agree with that.
I'm sorry.
I agree with that. Holy shit.
I think TJ Watt he's a good player, but he's not the best. Really is.
Yeah.
He's good on the edge. I mean, but I don't know, man. Like, I really don't. Yeah, I don't know what to say about him. I know he was the sack leader at one point for this year, but at the same time, I think he's severely overrated. And I think that you can get past it. And I'm saying that about my own team. I hate saying that about my own. I mean, okay, 2023. Total sacks, solo, assisted, 48 solo, 68 total sacks. Or sorry. No. Excuse me. 19 total sacks. Back in 20, got 96.5 sacks.
Which is really good. I'm not gonna knock that.
That's really good. That is really good.
But he did get injured this season too, so he could have broke the sack.
Well, and here's the other part of it. You need a team to work around. Right now, the steel curtain does not exist. So
I agree with that.
It's not like the days when we had Troy Polamalu and James Harrison, James Ferrier,
Joey Porter.
Yeah.
You got Junior, but you don't have Joey.
Even Mike Shazier, dude. Mike Shazier was a great player.
Ryan Shazier, man,
amazing
that guy.
Yeah,
what a tragedy.
I think that
with him.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a long time before Pittsburgh's good again, and that's not just because of the defense. I believe that's because of the quarterback. I talked about you with this, but I think the Steelers, if they need to get J.J. McCarthy, I really do.
Ooh, that would
draft. They need to get J.J.
that would be
because he has the play style that the Steelers are looking for. I think, in my opinion, because the Steelers do best with a mobile quarterback. You have a mobile quarterback that knows how to break the pocket.
Yeah,
you're good. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my opinion.
So,
not really excited for 2024 unless we get J.J. McCarthy, but I don't see that happening.
Hey, if y'all get, you might see him on the draft special now. If you get J.J. McCarthy,
we'll see him on the draft special, but I don't think we'll see him headed to Pittsburgh.
At least you keep it real. At least we all keep it real. I don't see Dallas getting anybody that we need. I'm not excited for Dallas. I think they're overrated and just a bunch of prima donnas. However, I'm excited about the University of Texas. Heading into the SEC with the momentum that they have. Sark has a new restructured contract. Has his own private jet. Season tickets. God dang, if you saw his contract, JMO, you would shit your britches, man. Like, it is amazing how well structured this contract is. And man, we'll get on that later. Talk about coaching changes next time we come on for college football. A&M changed their coach mid-season. Nick Saban retired and caused a freaking firestorm within the former Pac-12 schools, now Big Ten and Big 12 schools in Washington and Arizona. Caused a tremendous firestorm. And Washington, I feel sorry for them because their coach abandoned them. I feel sorry for Arizona, even though they have their badass quarterback and wide receiver connection, Fafita, and I forget what the other kid's name, but we'll get more into that next time we come on. So that'll be one of the topics next time, but that'll be a long topic because there's quite a bit of coaching changes that we do need to talk about, especially the A&M coaching change, the Mississippi State coaching change, with Jeff Libby taking over, leaving Brent Venables. Kalen DeBoer to Alabama. Who would have thought that Nick Saban would retire? You know, like everybody thought that Nick Saban was going to die at that head coaching spot. he was going to sit there at the head coaching spot until he. But I'm going to give you all a hint right now. I have my own theory on why he left Alabama, on why he retired. And we'll get more into that next time we come on in 2 weeks. Like I said, this is going to be bi-weekly until football season starts back up. It helps me and JMO and K-Dub get back into the swing of things. And we appreciate you guys for coming out, supporting us on Twitch, supporting us on YouTube, and also my TikTokers on here. Thank you for supporting. We're gonna try to build up on Twitch. We're gonna try to build up more on YouTube. We have 57 subscribers. Make it 100 by whenever. Twitch, let's get those numbers up. Start following us, and feel free to ask questions. And don't be afraid to ask questions on YouTube or Twitch. You know, JMO will read the questions to me at the end of the show at some point, and I'll answer those questions. K-Dub will answer those questions if he's on. But I'm excited about this new transition to where we're doing 2 streams at once. JMO, before we get off here, you got anything to say before we head out and let the Mafia members know what's up?
Just so y'all know, the thing that changed and the reason why we weren't able to restream, or the reason why we weren't able to multi-stream is because there was a rule preventing streaming across multiple platforms. That included YouTube, Twitch, as well as Instagram, TikTok, Kick, all that stuff. So that, and we talked about that. That ban has never since been lifted. So as recent as TwitchCon 2023. So that's the reason we'll do this, and I can't be more excited because that's what causes us to grow a lot. So I just want to say, get on Twitch, follow the channel. That's the best thing to do. If you're watching on TikTok, watching on YouTube, just follow on Twitch. And
I better listen.
Yeah.
I'm talking to y'all. TikTok. Y'all can hear them. I know y'all can. But on a serious note, I appreciate the support from everybody that has supported us. And it's humiliating being wrong about Patrick Mahomes this season. He's the best quarterback in today's NFL. I was wrong, blah, 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 blah. But I go off of stats. I don't go off of Super Bowl rings. And to me, this is another conversation we'll have in one of our shows. Who is the GOAT in our eyes? Okay? Who is the greatest of all time as far as quarterback play, as far as running back play? Realistically, who is the best NFL player that you've ever seen in your entire life? Or if you went back to film like I do, who is the best football player that you know of that you've never got to see in person or on TV, but you got to see on YouTube or NFL films or whatever, so that's the direction we're heading, guys. We're not going to do any previews of like conferences or divisions in the NFL. What we will do, though, and these are plans for the PNP, we will talk about, like, for the college football side, what players are we looking forward to that are in the Heisman race? What players are we going to highlight this season? And what teams do we think are going to make it to the 12-team playoff? And we will use the format, the 5 conference champions and 7 best teams after that. And for the NFL side, we'll just talk about who's going to win the division, who we think's going to win the division, and who do we think's going to win the NFC and AFC championship, and who do we think's going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to dumb it down this year, because when I had to talk about the conference previews, my brain was scrambled. I was fried. I'll be honest, and JMO could probably defend me for saying this. I really had times where I didn't want to do it anymore, but I went ahead and did it because the show must go on, just like the tragedy in '99 at Over the Edge when Owen Hart died. Guess what? The show must go on. As shitty as that sounds, that's what happens. I mean, different situation, but the show must go on. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in tonight. Y'all got to see me wear a Kansas City Chiefs jersey. And by the way, I do want to touch this subject real quick. Much prayers to the Kansas City community after that shooting. Unfortunately, one person did die and about 25 others were injured, and about 9 of those were kids. A shameful act. I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, I'm glad that they got the people, and whoever tackled them, thank you for tackling them. And they weren't police officers either that tackled them; they were civilians. So it was a good thing to see good Samaritans out there. What should have been a celebration ended up being a tragedy, and it sucks. So I just wanted to bring that out before we close out. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. First night back on the PMP. We will be back in 2 weeks. This will be a bi-weekly thing, like I said. And after OTAs, and once the NFL preseason starts, we go back to going weekly. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you subscribe, leave a like, follow, react, share to your friends, family, grandpa, Abraham Lincoln. I don't care who you share it to, but make sure people know who the Pigskin Mafia podcast is. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in from the PMP. I'm TJ Riddell. Goodbye.
Not the type of person concerned with what I can do. Woosah, fuck the hoopla. I saw what I saw. Fuck what you saw. I've been on my day to day. Disappear like David Blaine. I told her woosah.